Hi, welcome to today's episode of The Young and the Restless. We open up at the coffee house, and Chelsea walks downstairs and see Billy there looking into space, and she wonders why Billy is there staring out. We go over to the athletic club, and we see Danny brings Daniel to a room, and Danny tells Daniel to stop making threats to Stark in public, and Danny brings him into the room, and Daniel wants to be the answers out of Stark of what happened to his mother, and Danny tells him to accept that Phyllis is gone. And then we go over to society, and we see Nate says to Elena that it was an accident, and Elena feels like they let Phyllis down. Elena questions how a healthy Phyllis could just pass out of the blue. And we go up by the Abbott house, and Diane and Jack questions how can Phyllis be gone? And I just roll my eyes because Diane, you don't care, you're a hypocrite. And then Diane claims that the announcement of their engagement had something to do with it. We see Ashley comes in, and Diane claims that it isn't the right time for a fight and tells Astrid to save her insults. Back at the coffee house, Chelsea thinks that Billy is being weird because they kissed, and he says no, and he tells her that Phyllis is dead. We go back to the society, and Elena is there researching on her phone while Nate talks about the gala, and Elena wants to find answers, but then they flirt and decide to do that later. Upstairs, Daniel blames himself and the way he treated his mother for her being gone, and Daniel regrets calling her out in front of the whole town. Back at the Abbott house, Ashley says that there has been enough conflict for one day and night, so she's not gonna get into it with Diane. And Kyle comes down, and Jax asks how can they help Summer, and Kyle says he doesn't know. Ashley draws a parallel of Jack and Diane with Jeremy and Phyllis after Jack criticizes how Phyllis could marry Stark. She says when someone marries a person that is universally despised, it's like pouring salt onto the people who cares about you. And then we see Diane rolls her eyes. Back at the athletic club, Daniel continues to rant about how his mom felt betrayed by them and questions that it wasn't supposed to end like this. And Danny asks him to get some rest, and Daniel says that he doesn't know what it is life is gonna be like without her. And then he goes off to the bathroom, and we see Danny then calls Lily and asks her for help with Daniel. Back at the Abbott house, Diane complains about Ashley's comparison, and Ashley tells her now is not the time to speak ill of the dead. Ashley then leaves and goes upstairs, and we see Diane says that she is glad Ashley decides to back off. We see Summer then comes down, and Diane says, I can't imagine what you are going through, and she is sure Jeremy is involved and her mom paid the price. This triggers Summer, and she cries and says that you're sorry. You caused this, all of this. Over at the coffee house, Chelsea and Billy discuss Phyllis's death and Billy's past relationship with Phyllis. Then we go back to the athletic club, and Daniel comes out the bathroom and he finds Lily, and they hug and cry. Back at the Abbott house, Diane claims that whatever plan Jeremy came up with, she had nothing to do with it, and says that she is shocked and horrified just like everyone else. But Summer doesn't care about Jeremy. She is talking about Diane attempting to strangle her mom and wanting her dead. And Diane says that she meant it from the bottom of her heart, that she didn't want anything to happen to Phyllis. And Summer says, heart, you have a heart? Jack then interrupts and tries to defend Diane by saying it was an accident. And then Kyle tries to take her upstairs, and Summer rants and says that Diane has no right to talk about her mom. She says her mom knew exactly who Diane was and Diane wanted her mom dead. And she tells Diane that she was right. Phyllis was right. That Diane is a monster. Kyle apologized to Diane and says that Summer is hurt right now and she is but Summer says no. She is being honest for the first time in a very long time and she tells Diane to the truth. Tell the truth that she wanted her mom dead and stop pretending like you cared about her. Summer claims that her mom being dead is exactly what Diane wanted. Then we go back and we see Daniel and Lily talk, and he thanks Lily for company, and Lily shares her experience losing Neil. Then Daniel asks about her experience losing her mom, and Lily says it's a trauma that she doesn't even like to think about, and she tells Daniel that he has to let go at some point, and Daniel says that it's a family trait. They don't know how to let things go easily. And Lily tells him that she loves him and wants to support him. Back at the Abbott house, Diane claims that what she said were regrettable words and she didn't want Phyllis to die. Summer tells her to say how she really feels, and Kyle begs Summer to go upstairs and talk, and Summer cries and says that she can't live without her mom, and Kyle then takes her upstairs. And then we see Diane goes to do her crocodile tears to Jack, and Jack makes excuses that Summer is just hurt and needs someone to take it out on. Diane asks Jack about how he really feels about it, and does he think that she is responsible. Diane is pulling a manipulation tactic right here. Then we see Chelsea invites Billy upstairs to spend the night. Then we see Nate questions if Elena fully supports his career decisions. We see Elena there is investigating JT on her phone, and then Elena decides to walk home and let Nate leave her. Then we see Lily continues to tell Danielle about her experience losing both parents, and Lily says that she will spend the night with Danielle. Back at the Abbott house, Jack just says that he told Summer that it was an accident, so he doesn't believe that Diane wanted Phyllis dead. Then we see Diane goes into blaming Phyllis again and does her crocodile victim tears to get a hug from Jack. And we see Elena sit down there, continue to research JT on her phone. Then Jack tries to blame Jeremy, and Diane says that there is more coming and mind games and manipulation coming from Jeremy. Jack assures Diane that he has faith in her. Then we see Lily sits in the chair and watches Daniel sleep. Then she goes over to lay next to him in bed. Then we end with Phyllis opening a door at a hotel or a motel, and she says to the person, "Took you long enough. Thanks for watching. Bye."